Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 9 of English 90. This week, we are going to continue to read Citizen. This week, we're reading a larger chunk. We're going to be reading from page 104 to 135. That's the end of section 7. So we'll be ready to move on to the next section next week. Um, Also, please pay attention to I'm sorry, the end of section 6, not 7. Please pay attention to the videos that are posted as part of the content for this week. You'll see those posted in this lecture, but also posted in the discussion forum itself. You will be having a discussion forum again this week. Your main post, your own post, is due by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. And then you need to respond to at least 3 of your peers' posts by Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Then we are going to start our next writing assignment. You guys did a great job with our last 3-part writing assignment. And now we're going to move on to a little bit more creative assignment over the next 2 weeks before we have our final writing assignment. So actively reading pages 104 to 135 in Citizen. In this section of Citizen, we have 4 different situations. Remember, situations are like these faux scripts that she writes. The first one is called Stop and Frisk, and it's a script for situation video created in collaboration with John Lucas. John Lucas is Claudia Rankine's husband, who is a videographer, and he's a really great, they collaborate on all of these. So there is a situation video number 6 that you can watch that goes along with Stop and Frisk. But Stop and Frisk puts the narrator, you, in the position of a black person who is wrongfully stopped by the police as part of a stop and frisk procedure. The narrator is angered over the false accusation, but expresses a feeling of resignation at the unjust system. And here's a quotation. And still, you are not the guy, and still you fit the description because there is only one guy who is always the guy fitting the description. And then if you click on the situation 6, there's a video to go with this. The second one is in memory of Mark Dugan, August 4th, 2011. The Hackney riots occurred in the United Kingdom in 2011. They happened at the end of the summer when Mark Dugan, a black man, a husband, a father, and a suspected drug dealer, was shot dead by officers from Scotland Yard's Operation Trident, which is a special operations unit addressing gun crime in black communities. Whatever the reason for the riots, images of the looters' continued rampage eventually displaced the fact that an unarmed man was shot to death. This section is set in a time after the riots have occurred. It focuses on a conversation between a narrator, a writer of color, and a white English novelist. The novelist is slightly irritated when the narrator suggests he might write something about the Hackney riots, implying that it is the work of black writers to write about black things. In this section, both microaggression, the incident with the novelist, and macroaggression, the death of Mark Dugan, are highlighted. So that is the second one that we'll be reading. Remember to also pay attention to the artwork that's in here. There's also amazing quotations, like, for example, on page 115, the purpose of art, James Baldwin wrote, is to lay bare the questions hidden by the answers. He might have been channeling Dostoevsky's statement that, quote, we have all the answers. It is the questions we do not know. There's a reference to the Rodney King beating in this section as well. Hopefully you know who Rodney King is. The LA riots happened after he was beaten nearly to death. And if you want more information about Mark Dugan and what happened to him, it would be a good idea to just Google that and it'll bring up the information. The next script that we're going to be talking about is World Cup, October 10th, 2006. This section explores a scene during which the French soccer star Zinedine Zidane headbutts Italian defender Marco Materazzi after Materazzi verbally provokes Zidane with a racial slur at the FIFA World Cup final in 2006. This is situation one. And this one I want you to pay special attention to. I'm going to come back to it in a second to talk about because we will be basing our writing assignment for this week off of that. Oop. So making room is on begins on page 130, and this section returns to the prose poem form and examines another instance of everyday racism. The narrator, again the second person you, is aboard a moving train. The narrator sees that on the train there's a black man with an unoccupied seat directly next to him, despite it being a crowded train with every other seat taken. The inference is that the rest of the train is scared, hesitant, or otherwise unwilling to sit near him. The narrator, understanding this, makes a conscious choice to sit next to the man as an act of solidarity. Quote, "The soft gray green of your cotton coat touches the sleeve of him. You are shoulder to shoulder. Though standing, you could feel shadowed. You sit to repair whom? Who? You erase that thought, and it might be too late for that." That's on page 132. And there's also a situation for this one. Please watch all of the situation videos. The last section I want to talk about looks like this. Chapter 6 concludes with a list of 24 names. And depending on which edition you have, there will be a different list of names. It's ever changing, and it's updated each time the book is released. Sadly, there are always more names to add to this list. These names are the names of victims of recent racial violence in memory of Jordan Russell Davis, in memory of Eric Garner, in memory of John Crawford. The text gradually fades to white with in memory of bleeding into the white of the page and disappearing. So when you read the section World Cup, I want you to pay attention to the prose on this side is a quotation by this on this side on every page. So when you read, "Something is there before us that is neither the living person himself, nor any sort of reality, neither the same as the one who is alive, nor another. What is there is the absolute calm of what has found its place." That is by Maurice Blanchot. And then perhaps the most insidious and least understood form of segregation is that of the word, and that is Ralph Ellison. So you see how the quotation is on the left-hand side and the attribution who said it is on the right. And that's on every single page. So I want you to pay attention to that, okay? So for your discussion this week, you are going to be choosing one of the names in the section that's called In Memory. So this section here, I want you to choose one of these names and I want you to look up who that person is. I want you to include a photograph so we can remember this person and talk about what happened to that person. Then the second part of what you're going to do, everyone's going to do that. And then you're going to choose one of the, and let's try to choose names that other people haven't chosen so we can really get to know all these people. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to choose one of the 4 situations to explain to us in detail. If there's a situation video associated with the situation you've chosen, then also provide an analysis of the video. How do the text and video correspond? And what is the overall message of the situation? As always, your own response of at least 250 words is due by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Then you must respond to at least 3 of your peers' posts by Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. The last thing we're working on this week is your writing assignment, number 5. So this week we're going to be taking this, and next week we're going to be taking a creative break. So you will begin a 2-week assignment. Begin by searching for a photograph or video that speaks to you in some way. Claudia Rankine used a clip from the World Cup where one man headbutts another man. Okay, you can choose whatever you'd like. The thing is, you want to find something that you can actually that disturbs you or speaks to you in some way. It doesn't have to just be negative. It can be anything that is speaking to you. It can be a video or it can be a still photograph. So in the first week, you're going to find that video or photograph, and you're going to do 2 pre-writes to figure out what story you want to tell about this video or photo. You must show evidence of at least 2 different types of pre-writing techniques. Remember, you need a minimum of 10 minutes for each one, and you need to provide a link to the video or an image, or upload the image that you've chosen to write about so I can see it. Then next week, you're going to choose at least 4 sources. These can be novels, plays, poems, songs, newspaper articles, doesn't matter. And you're going to find quotations. And you are just going to collage those quotations together, giving credit to whoever wrote them, just like Claudia Rankine did in World Cup. So your pre-writing is due a week from Tuesday, 11/9, at 11:59 p.m. And your final draft is due on the 16th at 11:59 p.m. That's it for this week. Remember to read Citizen closely. You have a larger section this week. Um, and really participate in this discussion. I really want to see you guys discussing it. Then I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do for your writing assignment number 5. If you have questions, don't forget, I'm here via email. There is, as of right now, email is down. Hopefully by tomorrow it won't be when I post this video, but if you can't reach me, you can always reach me through the Canvas email. I will be able to get those, okay? All right, have a great week.